Some stories fade away with time, but some events are so horrifying that their shadow lives on for centuries. Today, we will take you to a village where the cruelty inflicted on an innocent girl and her husband cursed the entire region. People say that even today, screams of a woman can be heard from the forest and her shadow suddenly appears. Are you ready to hear the truth of Ramesarpur? Ramesarpur, a small village nestled at the foothills of the mountain. The village head, Ramesa Kaka, was an honest and respected man. He had a single daughter, Chanda, who was the pride of the village. Chanda was mischievous, playful, and always cheerful. Girls envied her, and boys were captivated by her innocent laughter from afar. The villagers used to say, "Kaka, your daughter is no less than a princess." Chanda married a young man named Nadesar from a nearby village. He was simple, hardworking, and charming. Within days of marriage, they became everything to each other, but their happiness was short-lived. Nadesar had to return to Kolkata for his job. Chanda said, "Go, work is important, but return by Diwali. I will wait for you." With a heavy heart, Nadesar left. The crowded streets of Kolkata did not appeal to him. His every thought revolved around Chanda. He would talk about her day and night to his 5 friends. Gradually, a vile desire grew in the minds of these friends. They whispered among themselves, "If she's so beautiful, we should see her too." One day, they told Nadesar, "Let's go to the village. We can meet your wife and enjoy the village air." Innocent Nadesar agreed. They boarded a train and then walked through dense forest toward the village. Tall trees, thick darkness, and an eerie silence all around. Nikesh pretended, "Brother, I can't walk any further." The others sat down and said, "Nadesar, we'll surprise your wife. Go and bring her," trusting them. Nadesar went to fetch Chanda. At first, everyone laughed and gave Chanda gifts, but in the next moment, their expressions turned sinister. Nikesh gritted his teeth and said, "Damn you, why didn't you marry my sister? Today, you will pay the price." They grabbed Nadesar. The others attacked Chanda. For hours, the forest echoed with their scream. Finally, Nadesar was killed. Chanda was brutally assaulted and set on fire. Smoke rose from the forest, and along with it, the wailing of spirit. That night, neither of them returned to the village. Villagers searched with torches. The police came, but found no trace. Gradually, everyone assumed Nadesar had taken his wife back to Kolkata. For months, this was the talk of the village, but the forest remained rest. Suddenly, news came from Kolkata. Nikesh was dead. His body was torn apart, as if someone had devoured him piece by piece. His sister revealed, "My brother went to meet an invisible woman. I myself saw a black shadow. It said, 'You devoured me. Now I will devour you.'" The police were baffled. No one had entered the room. Gradually, Nadesar's other 4 friends also met mysterious death. Some were found with their throats. Others had bite marks on their chest. Villagers reported seeing the shadow of a dark woman. Terrified, they said, "This is Chanda's spirit. She will not rest until every sinner is punished." Even today, the forest of Ramesarpur remains desolate. People say that at night, cries can be heard from that, and between the tree, a hanging shadow suddenly bursts into laughter. After Nikesh's death, terror spread throughout the village, but Nadesar's remaining 4 friends still refused to believe that it was the work of a spirit. Drunk, they mocked the village. "Ghosts don't exist. These are just women's silly tales." But that very night, one of them, Suresh, went to guard his field. At midnight, he suddenly heard footsteps outside his hut. At first, he thought it was some animal, but when he opened the door, standing in the mist was the shadow of a woman. The shadow slowly approached him and whispered, "You burned me alive. Now I will burn every vein in your body." The next morning, villagers found Suresh's body completely charred, as if he had been burned alive, yet without any fire. With 2 mysterious deaths back to back, fear in the village reached its peak. Ramesa Kaka finally gave in and summoned an old tantric occult. The tantric performed a ritual at the village square. Closing his eyes, he said, "This is not the work of an ordinary spirit. Here lies the soul of a woman who was wrong. Her screams still echo in the soil. Until her vengeance is complete, this village will never know peace." The villagers shivered in fear, but the 4 friends only laughed. One of them sneered, "Old man, you're just trying to scare us and take our money." The tantric simply replied, "Remember that before the next full moon, she will strike again." A few days later, the 3rd friend, Mahesh, disappeared from his home. Villagers searched everywhere until they followed the path into the forest. Inside, they stumbled upon a horrifying sight. Mahesh's body was hanging upside down from a tree. His eyes bulged out of their socket, and deep claw marks scarred his face. On the tree bark, written in blood, were the words, "One by one, I will take them all." The women of the village screamed in terror. Ramesa Kaka fell to the ground, weeping. "Chanda, my daughter, how long will you quench your thirst with blood?" Now only 2 friends remained. One of them, Dheeraj, was so terrified that he decided to flee the village. Late at night, he quietly climbed onto a bullock cart, but when he looked ahead, he froze. The cart was already occupied. In the fog, the shadow of a woman sat there, staring at him with burning red eyes. Slowly, she leaned toward him and hissed, "Do you think think you can escape? I have already bound your leg. Now, your breath belongs to me. By morning, villagers found the bullock cart overturned in the field. Dheeraj's neck was twisted and his tongue hung out lifeless. Now only Rajesh was. He was the most cunning and ruthless of them all. In fact, it was he who had taken Nadisa and Chanda into the forest and killed them. The others had only fallen into his trap. But now Rajesh trembled day and night. In his sleep, he kept hearing a woman's laughter. Rajesh, your wait is finally over. He begged the villagers for help, but everyone hated him. Nobody went near him. Rajesh was left completely alone. Ramesar Kaka called the tantric once again. The tantric began the ritual, but suddenly he screamed, Chanda's spirit is furious. Her pain has turned into fire. Until Rajesh receives his punishment, this fire will keep spreading. The tantric tried to explain to Rajesh, if you confess and beg forgiveness from the spirit, maybe she will forgive you. But Rajesh, terrified, shouted, why should I apologize? Whatever I did for fun. The entire village froze in shock. Tears filled the tantric's eyes. Now, no one can save you. That night, Rajesh tried to flee the village in fear, but whichever road he took, it always led him back into the same forest. The forest was thick with fog, and the howling wind carried eerie whispers. Suddenly, he saw her, a woman in a red sari, face burned, eyes glowing red, hair loose and wild. She slowly approached Rajesh and whispered, you burned me alive. Now I will burn every breath you take. Rajesh tried to run, but hands rose from the ground, clutching his leg. Chanda's spirit leapt upon him. His screams echoed through the forest, and then silent. The next morning, villagers found Rajesh's body in the forest. His entire body had turned black, like ash. After his death, the chain of mysterious death finally stopped. The tantric declared, Chanda's spirit has taken her revenge. She's at peace now. But that night, Ramesar Kaka had a dream. Chanda stood by the window, tears flowing from her eyes. She whispered, Baba, I cannot rest yet. There are still more sinners hiding in this village. Kaka woke up in shock, but the shadow by the window was still there. Friend, this was the cursed tale of Ramesarpur village, where the cries of an innocent girl echoed for centuries. They say after Rajesh's death, Chanda's spirit found peace. But did she really? Because even today, people swear that in the forest of Ramesarpur, they see the shadow of a woman in a red sari. She calls out someone's name and then vanishes into thin air. So tell me, was the curse truly broken, or was that only the beginning? If you too have ever been to a village or a forest where you faced strange shadows or unheard voices, share your story with us in the comment. And if you enjoyed this terrifying tale, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon, because next time we will bring you an even scarier true story, one that will chill your soul to the core.